Hey guys, so I just wanted to put together a quick video in regards to sounders and chasing freshwater fish. Now, if you're a keen freshwater angler and you're looking at getting into the market of a good quality sounder that has side imaging and down imaging and really cool features, then I was going to give you my opinions on this model that I use on my boat, which is the Elite Ti2 from Lowrance. This one here is the 12-inch model. They come in a 7-inch and a 9-inch as well. Now, they're a good entry level for side and down imaging. They obviously have more expensive models and some of the other brands do as well, but this one here I think is perfect really for what I do, and I do a lot of freshwater fishing. You know, if you're finding schools of redfin, looking for structure with your side and down, I really like it and it does the trick. Now what I want to do is actually show you how to configure it and how I configured this model specifically to the fishing that I do, which is chasing these big cod, and the screens that I use and why I like them those ways. So we're going to dive right in now. As you can see, here is the home screen, and this is the pages button, which brings you back to this screen if you're not already on it. First of all, I want to talk about the configuration of the screens. Now, as you can see down the right hand side here, where I'm scrolling, I have a whole heap already set up. So I just want to show you how you would set one up. Now, I've got a few variations there that I'll use for a lot of different things, but there's one key one that I use. So what you want to do is just hit the plus button, and it opens up basically, and you can make your own. So what I want to do is show you the one that I use. Now I use down scan, so just drag it in and drop it on, and sonar, drag it in and drop it on. And the other one I use is, where are we, side scan, of course, very important. And now at the top right here, you can change them to how you want them. And I picked the third option there, which has two small ones at the top, big one at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag side imaging to be my big one at the bottom, sonar at top left, and top right is my down scan. And then all you do is hit save. I'm just going to discard that though, discard, because I've already got that, and it's my top one just up here. So if I click on that, it brings it up. It gives me my sonar, down scan and side scan. So if I just go back, I just want to show you this one here. Below it has charts in the top left hand corner rather than the sonar. So I use that for when we maybe mark a bunch of logs on a troll run and I want to drive back over the top of them. So that way I change it to that one so I can still see my side imaging and still see my down scan, but I can just see my map and where I'm going. And then I've got a couple which has just got down and side on their own, but I don't use them very often. The other one I do use when we're navigating is just chart. So you come back to this main one and open up the chart, and it gives you a chart. So I have a big screen for when I'm driving around the lake and navigating. So I'll hit pages to go back, and I'm going to go into that configuration there, which is the one that I use the most. So now I just want to talk about a few of the features down the right hand side. Now you might be seeing this screen here and there's not much going on. It's because we're sitting still. So when we get moving, I'll show you exactly how good a picture it does draw. Now what I want to talk about is your frequency. So up here I've got menu. Now my range, that's range is coming because I've clicked on my side imaging. I can click on my down scan and I can click on my sonar, and it changes what's going on the right hand side here. Now in regards to the mode, so if I click on menu, if I click on sonar, with my mode at the top right here, I just prefer general. It works the best. So I'm just going to keep that one on general. Now my range, auto, that'll adjust. So we're talking sonar here, top left. It will adjust up and down as we get deeper. So you definitely want it on auto. Frequency, leave it on 200. We don't want to use chirp in the fresh water, it's not needed. Sensitivity, you usually want it around the default. So anywhere from up or minus a couple. I had that just minus a couple to take a little bit of detail away, like so. And that's all we really need in there. Now, if we go to our side imaging and our down scan, now let's go side imaging first. So that's my bottom one, I've clicked on it. Now my range changes, so that menu just dropped back out, which is really handy because it fills the screen. Now, in terms of the range, I can do that down here in the middle with these buttons, and it basically shows you how far wide and narrow you're shooting. Now, it depends on what you're doing with what you want to set that at, and I change it all the time. If we're out here looking for big logs and we're searching, I might shoot it at 40 meters each side, especially on these big flat open grassy banks. You won't pick up much detail in terms of small bait fish and that though. So I like to generally have it on that 25, 20, maybe 30 meters when I'm looking around. 25 gives you good detail. And obviously if you want to really hone in on maybe a bank you're working, you can dive it right in. So that's your distance you're shooting on your side imaging. So back to my menu, and you can see now it's on 25. Frequency. Now this thing here is really key. You got 455 and 800. 800 you run from shallow all the way down to about 6 or 7 meters. Once you get deeper than that, you want to run to 455. Now if I change to 455 here, you'll see it blows out here really bad. So it's giving more, there's more power in its reading basically, but it's too much power when you're shallow. And I've got this palette on this brighter yellowy palette and it's just blown right out. So it's not giving me any, because I'm in 3 meters. So if I change that back to 800, that's perfect for shallow water. Just go by ear, or by eye really. If you go into deeper water and it's getting really, really dark, change it to 455. That's just something to keep in mind. Contrast, auto, the palette is personal preference. I'm running on 10 on the bottom here. My top one's on a different one, I think it's 1. So I can change the palette to 1, 2, 3, all sorts of different colors that you can choose from. So I'm gonna leave that on 10. Advanced. We don't really need to change anything in there. And one other thing here where'd I go? More options down the bottom. This stop sonar. Just stop it if you're running your sounder out the water. It's all right for about 15 minutes or so, but if you're playing around with this in the shed and you're mucking around with it for a bit, just stop all the sonar. So stop these two and go into sonar and click on it and stop it as well. It'll stop it reading and it'll stop it getting damaged. So I'm just going to turn that back on. We're on the water, and that's basically it. Now if I go up the top here to our down scan, range, leave it on auto, contrast is fine. That's basically what we had before. You can play around with it up and down, but usually near default is good. Palette, pick your palette. Well, it's 9, that was 9, not 1. And then what I want to show you, I went into advanced there, leave surface clarity on low. What I want to show you is fish reveal options. Now this is really cool. Hopefully it doesn't go away while I'm talking, but fish reveal is where you have, basically it's a technology that Lowrance have, which is really, really cool. And it basically mixes what it picks up on its sonar, because sonar in that unit, the transducer, it's got both sonar and down and side all together, and they're two different things. So what it does is it mixes your sonar with your down scan and it helps you distinguish what fish are. So instead of having your separate, well they are separate, your sonar picks up things, but your down scan picks up things in a lot more detail and separates your structure from your fish, whereas your sonar kind of mixes them and it's hard to tell what's going on. So what you want to do is turn your fish reveal on, because it'll give you the arches that you get on your sonar, but on your down scan. So